have struggled at times this year, losing 8 of their last 11 after starting the season 12-1, but they've come up with 2 great wins, one at the end of the regular season and one in the first round of the tournament. If we take a look at the Buffalo Wild Wings, starting 5.
We've talked about Andre Hollins. Joe Coleman, another guy to keep an eye on in that freshman class, can get in the lane and create scoring opportunities. Eliason's going to have his hands full trying to run the floor with Jordan Morgan.
Meanwhile, for the Michigan Wolverines, they come in with a 23-8 record, 13-5 in conference play, received a bye in the first round of the Big Ten tournament.
Tim Hardaway Jr., outstanding sophomore season, particularly, Gus, when he didn't settle unnecessarily for the three-point shot and got to the rim and completed it. He's really starting to expand his game.
And they're coached by John Beilein, the only active coach with 20-win seasons in 4 different levels of basketball. The JUCO level, the NAIA level, the NCAA Division II level, and the NCAA Division I level. Coach Beilein with his 3rd 20-win season at the University of Michigan, looking for his 3rd consecutive trip to the NCAAs as we take a look at the Case IH keys to victory.
For the Minnesota Golden Gophers, Gus, they must defend the three-point arc. This is a Michigan squad that knocks down 8 per game, 2nd in the conference in that category. And on the other side of the equation, for the Michigan Wolverines, I think it's very important for them to get off to a quick start. They're playing a team in Minnesota, we mentioned it, not a lot of pressure on them, coming in with a great deal of confidence. If you're Michigan, you want to jump on the lower seed early and diminish their confidence.
All right, on New Year's Day, these 2 teams faced each other in Ann Arbor, Michigan winning it 61-56. Trey Burke with a career-high 27 points in that game. Free throw shooting was the key. Michigan went to the line 23 times. They were 15 of 23 that day. So Minnesota controls the tap. Here's Rodney Williams, folks, number 33 in gold. Keep your eye on him. He is a breathtaking athlete. Joe Coleman, Mr. Basketball in Minnesota last year. Here's Hollins for a shot, and he keeps it going as he knocks down a 3. Had 25 big ones, a career high yesterday in their upset win of Northwestern.
Boy, he just shot that without hesitation. He was a good 4 feet behind the three-point arc, and this is a Minnesota squad, Gus, that comes into this tournament 11th in the conference in made threes per ball game. Hollins 10 of 17 from the floor overall, 5 of 10 from behind the arc last night.
Now Hardaway backdoor. Stu Douglas tries to tap it in. Loose ball picked up by Elias. Eliason, a freshman, in for Ralph Sampson III. He tweaked his knee. Didn't play yesterday. But Eliason has a great feel for the game and will get dirty inside. Now Coleman looking. That one out of bounds and will stay right here.
Yeah, Coleman really stared down Eliason right there. He had him early, Gus, then tried to look the other way and then threw it in there when he really didn't have a good inside position. Minnesota very fortunate.
You're really going to love Andre Hollins. His nickname is Dre. He's from Tennessee. Not only was he a terrific scorer in high school, but a 4.8 grade point average, so his intelligence is at another level, and he's really starting to settle down. Inside, Coleman off the front rim, loose ball picked up. Austin Hollins. And Minnesota gets a new shot clock. Austin Hollins, number 20 gold, the son of Lionel Hollins, the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. So you know it's in his blood. (13 to shoot, Austin Hollins. That one rimming off. Nice play by Eliason to bat it out.
Great job by Eliason. Looked like Morgan had done a pretty good job taking the big fella underneath the rim, but Eliason did not give up on it, not able to corral it, but the back tap keeps the possession alive.
Austin Hollins, quick release. Misses his second shot. Loose ball rebounded by Timmy Hardaway Jr. Hardaway Jr. very versatile, 3rd team All Big Ten. He gets it stripped. Austin Hollins out to Andre Hollins. Minnesota with numbers. Nice bounce pass to the baseline. And the elevation by Rodney Williams.
How about the look off in the open floor by Andre Collins? He looks right, comes back left, and you mentioned the athleticism of Williams. He was a blur running that left wing.
Minnesota, they've won 2 in a row. Their final regular season game, they snapped a 6-game losing streak by beating Nebraska 81-69. Hardaway Jr. off the mark, and look at the great rebound by Rodney Williams. Going high to get it. Yesterday, Minnesota defeating Northwestern 75-68 in the first round. That career high 25 points for Andre Hollins. 4 players in double figures. And the Golden Gophers just own the boards. 44-29.
Watch Hollins. Watch the look off right there. He looks off the trailer, the defender rather, Burke, forcing him to make a decision that allowed the drop pass to Williams. Excellent play in the open floor by the freshman.
This is going to be a wonderful matchup between Trey Burke and Andre Hollins. It's something that we're going to be seeing for hopefully a long time to come, meaning 3 more years. Hollins started 10 games early, then injured his ankle. Set him back. Novak, lefty, off the front rim. And a loose ball rebounded by Eliason. Here comes Andre Hollins in transition. On a switch. Eliason down low. Ball deflected. Second turnover for the U. Stewie Douglas to the bucket. Inside, Morgan and a foul.
Good job by Douglas of getting into the gut of the defense and then put enough mustard on the bounce pass, Gus, where the big fella Morgan didn't have to go below his waist. He bounced it on the floor hard enough where it came up above his waistline, which allowed him to catch and go into the shooting motion.
Jordan Morgan really coming along this year. Stroke getting better at the free throw line. And you know what my favorite thing about Jordan Morgan? You know what my favorite thing about him is?
Oh, he's from Detroit.
That's right.
It's got to be.
He's from my high school, Detroit Jesuit.
So
this is the second.
He's the second best guy to ever come out of there.
I know, he's the best. Minnesota, though, with a 5-1 lead. Golden Gophers team losing a lot of close games this year. Remember, they lost Trevor Mbakwe, their best player, to an ACL injury. They set him back and are still trying to figure out how to play without him. And it is undetermined whether or not he will receive a medical red shirt. Let's hope he does. Somebody could use it. Coleman inside Eliason. That's an offensive foul.
Yeah, and that's, you know what? The foul goes on Eliason, Gus, but you have to give that turnover to the passer because he led Eliason right into that turnover, and that's one of the rare mistakes we've seen Hollins make. This is not one of them. In the open floor, the look away, Minnesota off and running.
Well, let's hope that Ralph Sampson III does get into the basketball game. Right now, his team winning 5-1, full court pressure now. By Minnesota, they back off as Trey Burke, co-freshman of the year in the Big Ten Conference, second team all-conference as well. Brings it up on Hollins. Burke has great patience and great timing. He knows when to get his guys involved, and he knows when to go for his offense, 15-footer. Rodney Williams snatching it down. Another nice rebound as Andre Hollins brings it the other way. Minnesota with 2 offensive rebounds in this game thus far. Gophers 2 for 5 from the field. 1 of 3 from the three-point line. Andre Hollins, Mr. 4.8. I like that.
Very, very bright future. Gus, when he started this year as a freshman, you and I were talking about it, he tended to play too quickly. He'd come in and try to make things happen, really slowing down. I think the game slowed down for him, and his jump shot is impeccable, except for that.
Step back jump shot, but there's Eliason. He's a garbage man. They play ruggedly. He's only a freshman and a new shot clock. Baseline, Austin Hollins explodes to the bucket. Right hand finger roll short. He's fouled.
Nice dribble drive. But I tell you, another great play there was by Eliason. He really blocked off Morgan at the bottom of your screen. Right there, he takes Morgan out of the play and the weak side help, which allows Hollins to turn the corner. Savvy play by the freshman redshirt out of Nebraska.
So the foul called on Hardaway is first team foul against Michigan. Austin Hollins at the line. He's had some very good games this season. He has 17 against Michigan State. He had 18 in the stunning win at Indiana, the only home loss of the season for the Hoosiers. And when he finds his rhythm and his teammates find him in his sweet spot, he can be a terrific scorer. 7-1. The U on top of Michigan. Let's see if Trey Burke starts to really get his offense going now. Wolverines falling behind.
And Smotrich in there now.
Backdoor stolen. Here comes Andre Hollins with Rodney Williams with him. Jump stop. 15-footer goes down.
Wonderful play. That's the second really smart play in the open floor we've seen by Andre Hollins. First the look off and transition to Williams, and there not over penetrating, making the defender make a choice and rising up rather than drawing the charge.
Mr. Basketball in the state of Tennessee, out of Station High School, Andre Hollins. Very intelligent basketball player, had a 28 on the ACT. Does it go up to 36? Inside, Douglas tried to flip it, no. Elias with a rebound, outlet Rodney Williams, watch out. Now Hollins, almost threw it away and does. Here comes Tim Hardaway Jr. with Burke to the basket, left hand goes down.
How about Burke in the open floor, clapping for it, saying give it up, make them make a decision, and completing at the rim.
First field goal of the game for Michigan. 9-3, Minnesota. They have had leads. Backdoor Williams. From Andre Hollins. And this is the most confident that I've seen this Minnesota team this year.
They have a bounce in their step. They're down in their defensive stances. That great eye contact between the two Gophers. Novak just lost contact with Williams, and he shows you what he can do with it around the rim.
Hardaway Jr. to the basket, rejected by Williams. Smotrich picks it up. The kick, Novak. And a loose ball rebounded by Andre Hollins. He's got such a command of the game now, folks. Like Sean said, when we saw him earlier this year, he was playing way too fast. Almost trying to impress, but defensively, he was always wonderful and will make plays down the stretch of games. Elias, a great catch. Williams, straightaway three. And Burke with the rebound.
If you're Michigan, that's where you want Rodney Williams.
Novak almost traveled, rejected by Rodney Williams. Saved by Rodney Williams. Here comes Andre Hollins in the open court.
Minnesota leads the conference in blocks per game, and a big reason for that is Rodney Williams, and he's showing you why in the last two possessions for Michigan.
Hollins turning the corner. 13 to shoot for Joe Coleman. Tried to split the defense. Coleman throws it away. Outlet Burke, head of the field. Uses a great shield and draws the foul.
What a headsy play. You hit it, Gus. Rather than go and take the angle straight to the rim, which allowed the shot blocker to extend his athleticism, he goes right into him. And this shows you what happens when you don't put a body on Rodney Williams. He will send it in. Hollins to Williams. Minnesota clicking on all cylinders, up 8 early. He may have altitude sickness.
Trey Burke at the line. Last time Burke faced this Minnesota team, he had a career-high 27. And he started off offensively at a higher pace in the first half and found his teammates in the second. As Burke was 1 of 2 from the line. Otto Oshinix checks in as well for Minnesota. He wears number 10. Chip Armelin in the game for Joe Coleman. Coleman turned it over twice. Julian Welch with the basketball. He's in at the point. Andre Hollins moves over to the 2-guard. Now Hollins drives to the basket, the runner. And he guides it in.
Another wonderful job of not over-penetrating, Gus. 7 points early on for the freshman. 2 of them coming on pull-up jump shots, and they're the runner. Just a smart play.
3 of 5 from the field for Andre Hollins. Right now, taking it to Trey Burke. Memphis, Tennessee. Hollins against Columbus, Ohio. Trey Burke. And you wonder what's on Hollins' mind. Is he saying to himself, co-Big Ten player, freshman of the year, I got something for that. And that's Burke's answer. Do you really? 6 points for Burke. Got a nice point guard battle going on, folks. We told you at the top of our broadcast, these 2 kids are dynamite as Michigan gets into a zone.
Yeah, they're trying to do anything to stem the tide. Dribble penetration by Hollins has really hurt Michigan on this end of the floor, so giving the freshman a different look. See how he attacks this. The middle of that zone is going to be open. This area right in here.
Forward to shoot for Armelin. Step back lefty. And a loose ball rebounded by Ingram. Another new shot clock for Minnesota. Gophers with 4 offensive rebounds. Only 1 for the Wolverines. here in the first half, under 10 to go.
And rebounding was a problem for Michigan all year, toward the bottom in the league in that category. Last in offensive rebounds were the Wolverines on the year.
Now Hollins takes a three. Tapped around, another offensive rebound for Armelin. Inside, Chip Armelin, athletic. And a foul coming up. And it will go against the Gophers.
Michigan really fortunate there, Gus, that Minnesota came away empty. 3 straight offensive rebounds, keeping possessions alive. Armelin able to get into the lane with that left hand, not able to convert. Will come the other way, and Michigan dodges one because Minnesota had a chance to extend their 6-point lead.
4th team foul against the Gophers, first against Armelin. As Burke brings it up the floor. Burke, crossover dribble. Smodrich deep. Rims off. Vogridge. And a whistle and foul. First foul on Armelin. Make that the 2nd foul on Armelin.
Vogridge able to get an offensive rebound and keep the possession alive for the Wolverines.
Now Burke driving this time and somehow manages to bank it in over the outstretched arm of Rodney Williams.
What a wonderful job, Gus, by Burke of putting his shoulder right into the defender and then pulling the ball away. Had to put some English on it as well. Tough delivery.
8 points for Burke. 13-9. Baseline, Williams, and he busts it in.
Wonderful job by Eliason right there, Gus, of getting in the gut of that 2-3 defense, forcing Michigan to make a decision, and got rid of it very, very quickly.
6 points for Rodney Williams to start this game, 15-9. Williams on the season. Leading scorer on this team at 11 a clip. Now Morgan, wheeling, kicking. Burke, fire. Count it.
That's on Welch, Gus. He has to come out hands high on Burke. Welch had his hands down around his waist. Burke knocks down 36% of his threes. You have to come out hands high under control.
And Burke has scored the last 11 points for Michigan as the Wolverines climb to within 3. Welch. And foul inside. Minnesota's led by as many as 8, but Michigan right back in this game, 7:39 to go. Wolverines, unselfish, Trey Burke.
4 during his tenure in the Twin Cities, and Gus, 13 total tournament wins in the 15 years for the Golden Gophers. That man there has over half of them for our principal financial group, Edge of the Game.
Tubby Smith looking for win number 100 at Minnesota this evening. So the Gophers with the basketball. Julian Welch will inbound it, along with Rodney Williams, Andre Hollins, Austin Hollins, and Eliason. Golden Gophers, 6 of 15 from the field. Austin Hollins driving. Inside the rebound, Austin Hollins, and he can't get the chippy to stay down. Tim Hardaway Jr. back in the game. Trey Burke, who scored the last 11. Trey Burke, folks, he's like a Maserati, Lamborghini, low to the ground, incredible speed and acceleration, but poise and style at the same time.
Hey, I drive a Yugo, so everything looks fast to me, Gus. But he is, and the savvy that this young man plays with, and the fact that he gets the ball to guys on his team where they can do something with it, and understanding that a good pass to one of his teammates may be a poor one to somebody else, particularly in transition.
And as you mentioned earlier this season, you said he had Mensa qualities.
He does. I don't know what Mensa means. I just know it means you're really smart.
I think it's some kind of constellation.
That's got something to do with stars. And he's a star. So there you go.
Here's Burke now. 15-12. Minnesota, Tim Hardaway Jr., who's been struggling with his shot this season. Last 2 games, though.
Nice
He's found it. Inside, that one knocked away. Rodney Williams with another rebound.
Nice job by Andre Ingram of rotating over and taking away the baseline from Smatric.
Rodney Williams, 4 rebounds to go along with his 6 points. Hollins. Eight to shoot for Rodney Williams. Guarded by Smatric. You can beat him off the bounce. Elevates inside and draws a foul.
Good job of spacing and clearing the floor for Rodney Williams, understanding the shot clock was down and he had Smatric away from his comfort level defensively. Smatric did a pretty good job of moving his feet and drill the contact up high, and Rodney Williams will shoot a couple. This has not been one of his strengths on the year, though, Gus. Only 55% from the floor, or from the foul line, rather.
7 points for Williams. Now subs coming in. Novak and Douglas, the tri-captains for this team. The heart and soul of this Michigan Wolverine squad. Zach Novak. And the second one rolls down for Williams, who now has 8 points. Andre Hollins picking up Trey Burke, baseline to baseline. Hardaway Jr. posting up, jump hook, and it rolls down. I talked to Tim Hardaway Sr. about his son and his offensive game, and he said that's what I've been trying to tell him. Go to the basket, post up, but I have to be a dad first before I can be a former NBA legend, and allow him to come to me to figure these things out.
Well, if he's like all of us, Gus, the older he gets, the smarter his dad's going to get.
Inside, Williams stripped and a foul. And we'll go the other way. Looks like Hardaway Jr. slid in and took a charge. It's funny, I mean, just talking to Timmy Hardaway Sr. before the game, and you know, I had a chance to cover his games in the NBA for years. Just what a wonderful, wonderful basketball player and basketball talent. He's now a scout for the Miami Heat, and it's just really interesting to hear him say, my son's got to come to me, and I got to be a dad first.
Well, he understands that he's got coaches to deal with, and the development of Tim Hardaway Jr. over the course of his almost 2 full seasons now in Ann Arbor has been very impressive. He showed a different side of his ball game, posting up. Michigan found him, isolating him down on the block, and he delivered. Novak muscling his way inside, tried to dump it down, and it's knocked out of bounds, and a foul coming up on Jordan Morgan. With 4:48 to go, and our score 17-14. We've got a grinder as Morgan picks up his first, and that's a 4th team foul on Michigan. You know, since Michigan has started to employ this 2-3 zone, it's really slowed down Minnesota offensively. They've been able to keep the penetrators, primarily Andre Hollins, out of the lane, and Minnesota has been stagnant offensively since the 2-3 saw the light of day for Michigan. Coleman back in the game. Looks weak side. Austin Hollins got a good look and buried it. Nice smart play by Coleman. We talked about it, Gus. That little soft spot between the 2 lines of defense is open. Coleman found it, didn't panic, came to him, looked weak side for the pitch pass. 20-14 Minnesota. Gophers now shooting 39%, 7 of 18 from the field. Wolverines at 36%, 5 of 14. Trey Burke has 11, 20-foot pull-up. Got it. Man, this kid is good. 13 in the first half. Trey Burke from Columbus grew up playing AAU basketball with Jared Sullinger. Also with Trayvon Jackson.
His dad was a pretty good player too, Jimmy. Collins rims off, and the rebound for Hardaway. Douglas looking inside, almost threw it away, but it'll be deflected off of a Gopher. 3:02 to play in the first half. Minnesota up 20-16.
Well, the 2-3 zone has been very impressive for Michigan, but here was a great way to work against it. Coleman getting in the gut, kicking it out to Austin Hollins. Minnesota up 4.
Keeping his team in this game. Broke the single-season freshman assist record previously held by Gary Grant. Novak. Morgan, nice offensive rebound inside. Fighting, left hand counted and the foul.
That was a man's play right there by Jordan Morgan. He goes up strong in traffic with 2 hands, and then more importantly, Gus, as a big man, watch where he keeps the ball. Keeps it right out underneath his chin, up, under, take the contact and the ability to use the left hand. Doesn't go from 6'9" to 5'9" by bringing it down below his waist.
And a foul on Tim Hardaway Jr. going for the rebound. And that's his second. 15 fouls, so Hardaway Jr. with 2:44 to play in the first half will have to sit. And he's replaced by Vogridge. Now Michigan showing some full court pressure.
Because we talked about it, since Michigan started to employ that zone, they have really stemmed the offensive tide of Minnesota. The Golden Gophers started off shooting 5 of 10 from the floor, only 2 of their last 9.
It's like Michigan now gets back in the man-to-man defense. Julian Welch, Elk Grove, California, right outside of Sacramento. 2-point game. Welch, and that goes off his foot and out of bounds. Welch can be shaky with the basketball. 7 turnovers for Minnesota in the first half. Burke, 15-footer. Ball squirts out. Hollins, Austin, bring it up. Dre Hollins to the bucket, left hand off the glass, no. Vogridge there for the rebound and a foul.
Good strong rebound in traffic by Vogridge. Andre Hollins showing his versatility and willingness to get in the lane and try to complete with the left hand, but Vogridge kept 1 possession alive earlier for Michigan with a strong offensive rebound. Here he corrals a miss and will have a chance to tie the ball game as he goes to the line.
Austin Hollins picks up his first. Vogridge shooting 1 and 1. Be sure to stay tuned for the State Farm halftime report. Dave Rebson, Jimmy Jackson, and Coach Gary Williams. Michigan, as a team this season, a 72% free throw shooting squad.
That's only the 5th and 6th free throw attempts for Vogridge on the air. He came in 2 of 4.
First tie of the game. Wolverines coming all the way back. They've slowed down this Minnesota squad, as you mentioned, with the zone. Gophers look confused. 1:35 to play in the first half. Austin Hollins. Dre Hollins with the crossover.
Nice team defense.
Almost knocked away. Austin Hollins and another jump shot. Goes down for Hollins. He has 8. Austin Hollins could be the terrific 3rd scorer for this team, but his guys have to keep his hands full. 23-20. Trey Burke. And an offensive foul. He dipped his shoulder. Great job by Dre Hollins to draw that foul. Burke picks up his first.
Well, you talked about his academic smarts, his basketball smarts on display there. Certainly Burke did dip the shoulder and extended that arm, but he did a wonderful job of selling it as well.
Andre Hollins will walk it up. Under a minute to go in the first half. Close affair. 3-point game. Minnesota's led by as many as 8. Julian Welch has to make good decisions with the basketball when it's in his hand. Dre Holland, 7 to shoot. Pulls up, blocked by Burke. Loose ball. And a travel. Wow. Novak caught it on his back. And John Beilein can't believe it. W. Smith wants a timeout. And the Gophers will play for 1. Dre Hollins has a nice step-back jump shot off the dribble. He drives to the basket, no call. Inside Coleman tries to shove it to Ingram. Austin Hollins out of bounds, and that's the end of the first half. So at the end of the first half, it's Minnesota 23, Michigan 20. Andre Hollins with 7. Austin Hollins with 8. For the Golden Gophers, Trey Burke with 13. Now let's join Lisa.
Well, Coach, you had a 9-point lead. They switched to that 2-3 zone. How do you attack that more effectively in the second half?
Well, we got to take better care of the basketball. I thought we did a good job of battling on the boards, getting second opportunities. We didn't have Rodney or Elliott. We had some foul trouble there. So once we get guys back in the game, but I thought the group we had in there did some good things. We just got to be a little more patient. I thought we took a couple quick shots against the zone. And that's what it's going to take to beat the zone.
Trey Burke has been the Michigan offense. He hurt you the first time you guys played. How do you slow him down?
Well, he's a good player. That's why he's freshman of the year. We just got to keep maybe try to double him off the ball screens, but he's very crafty and very slippery, and it's hard to guard him. So as long as we can keep the other guys under control, we should be okay.
All right, thank you for the time. We'll send it over.
Douglas inbounds Trey Burke. Joined by Jordan Morgan, Zach Novak, and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Gus, this is a good position for Minnesota to be in. If form holds, the Golden Gophers are 14-3 on the season and leading at the break.
And let's check in with Lisa.
Gus, I talked to John Beilein here at the half, and he addressed the rebounding margin, getting out-rebounded by 10. He said he wanted more clean rebounds, and what he means by that is he felt like Minnesota was way too long. Look, we can't compete with them when we're trying to go up with them to get the rebound. We actually have to push their guys out of the lane, and he's actually encouraging his guards to come in and do more rebounding there for the Wolverines here in the second half.
All right, thank you very much, Lisa. Joe Coleman picking up his second foul as Tim Hardaway Jr. now has 4 points. And he'll fall back on defense. Rodney Williams, Austin Thornton, Dre Hollins, Joe Coleman, and Eliason. Eliason looking inside. Oh, what a beautiful play as Rodney Williams jams it down and draws a foul. Eliason is such a bright ball player to be a freshman.
And Gus, once the ball gets in his hands, notice how quickly he makes a passing decision. Boom, it's gone, it's up. He doesn't give the defense either the primary defender on him to react or the secondary defender who's supposed to have a body on Williams.
Ten points for Rodney Williams. Douglas called for the foul, his first. Hardaway Jr. 3. Got it.
Did his work while the pass was on its way to him, Gus. He got his feet set. He had his hands up. Another example of what Trey Burke brings you. He got the ball to Hardaway right in the shooting pocket where all he had to do was catch and complete.
Thornton had a good first half on the hop inside, and he traveled. And that is turnover number 8 for Tubby Smith's Gophers.
Minnesota extending themselves defensively here a little bit. Going to force Michigan to burn a little bit of clock.
It's like Tim Hardaway Jr. now has found an offensive rhythm. He's the kind of player that can score points in bunches as long as he stays aggressive.
Nice job. They clear the floor. He comes over the top of the screen, read it very well. Able to get into the rim. That's a tough shot. Had to come under control. Little teardrop.
Hardaway Jr. on the season shooting 42% from the field, 29% from the three-point line. But the last two games against Penn State and Illinois, he found his rhythm inside Elias. First basket of the game for Elias, and that ties it up at 27.
Eliason came up and set that screen, but he didn't become a spectator after that. Rolled right to the rim, able to catch him complete.
Let's see if they continue to feed Hardaway Jr. 20-foot pull-up. Pure. Tim Hardaway Jr. against Illinois, the second to last game of the year, had 25 points on 6 of 7 shooting, 11 rebounds. He was 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Against Penn State, he had 13 on 4 of 9 shooting, 3 of 6 from the three-point line. His father told him to be aggressive. Inside, Rodney Williams, also aggressive.
How about the find from Andre Collins in traffic? Nice two-man game by Minnesota.
Trey Hollins with 3 assists and a foul away from the basketball. As we take a look at the Auto Owners Insurance game leaders.
Well, Rodney Williams, very efficient. 5 of 6 from the floor. Trey Burke, we talked about all that he gives his team. Really the only offensive story for Michigan in the first 20 minutes.
Hardaway Jr. now with 11 points on 4 of 6 shooting in 18 minutes. He also has 3 rebounds. Burke driving, steps back, curls, hangs. Oh my goodness. 15 points for Trey Burke, and Michigan goes up 31-29.
Really nice job by Burke coming off that screen down low and closing out on Hollins under control.
Rodney Williams has great position on Novak. Joe Coleman to Eliason, a 15-footer, not his game. But Coleman gets a rebound. And a new shot clock for the U. Joe Coleman, 16-footer, got it. Coleman's been working on his shot. He's great at getting to the basket as he comes up with his first 2 points of the night. Ties it at 31. Here come the Wolverines. Burke. Hollins really trying to make him work. Hardaway Jr. Austin Hollins. And a whistle and foul. There's that aggressiveness.
Did a really nice job by Hardaway of going to his left hand as Minnesota tried to take away the right. And Trey Burke, everything but the kitchen sink and the delivery. We're tied in Indianapolis. Duo from Ann Arbor, Trey Burke, 15 points, 6 of 8 from the floor. Tim Hardaway Jr. asserting himself off the dribble, 11 points, 4 of 6 from the floor for our Reese's perfect combination.
Hardaway Jr. a sophomore. What a great tandem, as you mentioned. Here's something that's very interesting. Hardaway Jr. came back to Ann Arbor. You know, he was raised in Florida. His father, 5-time All-Star, Tim Sr., playing with Miami Heat. He came back for his sophomore year, and he had grown 2 inches.
It's that sun down there.
I think so. I'm still waiting for that extra 2 to get to 6.
I'm shrinking.
So 12 points now for Junior. On the season, averaging 15. Making 13 now. Michigan takes a 33-31 lead.
And Michigan again, Gus, going back into that 2-3 zone. You have to have hard flashes between that two-line of defense.
Andre Hollins quiet now here in the second half offensively, 5 minutes in. Eight to shoot for Coleman. Rodney Williams calling for it. Coleman lost it, and he turns it over once again. Right now, Joe Coleman is not the player that you want with the ball when the shot clock is winding down. Coleman, 3 turnovers in this game.
As we talked about at halftime, the pace and where people wanted it. I think we were seeing here in the last 3 or 4 possessions for Minnesota why they want to be out in the open floor. They've been stagnant offensively for large period of times in the half court.
Inside Morgan from Trey Burke. Beautiful pick and roll. Morgan becoming a much better finisher. 5 points now for Jordan. And Michigan goes up by 4.
And again, look where that bounce pass was placed. Had enough mustard and momentum on it where all Morgan had to do was catch and then go up and finish. It wasn't off to the left or right or too low.
2 assists for Trey Burke. Eliason leaves it for Rodney Williams, and he steps on the baseline out of bounds.
The other thing this zone defense has done, Gus, is it has allowed them to only defend half the side of the court. This pick, the roll, Jordan Morgan, second in the conference in field goal percentage, shows you how you do it. A little bit of a rub screen, send it in for our Verizon key connection, Burke to Jordan Morgan.
Now the Gophers switching defense. Hollins picks up Trey Burke. Hardaway Jr. step back 3. Long rebound collected by Armour. Throws it in the front court. Hollins crossover.
Good job by Douglas moving his feet.
And a 5-second violation against Dre Hollins. Minnesota unraveling a bit here.
Boy, Stu Douglas did a fantastic job in transition. Hollins attacks him, moves his feet, closes out. Then his teammates also do their job, Gus. They take away any passing outlet. That leads to the turnover, but it started with great position defense by Stu Douglas.
Minnesota with 4 turnovers this half. And an interesting switch on defense. Rodney Williams Jr. now guarding Tim Hardaway. Inside Hardaway, had it blocked by Williams. Outlet, here comes Hollins to Armelin. Jump stop, lefty. And a foul coming up, and it will go against, I believe, Michigan. Zach Novak. Now Sunday night, our experts break down the entire bracket, plus get instant reaction from coaches and players on the Big Ten Basketball and Beyond Selection Sunday Special. Presented by 5 Hour Energy. Sunday at 7 Eastern, only on BTN. So Morgan checking out of the game. Smotrich in for the first time in the second half. Novak call for the foul, his first. Second team foul against Michigan. Hollins. Here's Rodney Williams. He can go over Douglas. Leaves it for Welch. Armelin in the corner. And good. Armelin to score, folks. 35-34. He has 3. Burke all the way to the basket. Wow.
Way too easy. Burke did use the hesitation dribble, but there has to be a yellow jersey coming off stronger on that hedge to force him out wide. Watch right here. That's on Eliason. You can't leave the ball. You have to make sure he fans out a little bit wider than that.
You always, if you're Dre Hollins, want to go over that screen. Can you sometimes go under? As Hollins has it blocked by Burke, and he's fouled. He'll shoot 3 shots, and this is the last guy you want to shoot free throws. Dre Hollins, but in terms of defending that pick and roll.
Yeah, the big guy really got caught in no man's land there, Gus. He has to show strong and give help to his teammate to allow him to come over the top of that screen. Eliason kind of got caught in that no man's land, whether he was to come out strong on that hedge or give help to the weak side, but you have to stop the ball and help the primary defender Hollins in that situation.
So Andre Hollins led the Big Ten Conference with a 92% free throw average, 36 of 39 in conference games. His overall season percentage of 90% is currently the best single season effort in the history of the program. 90.5, so 91%, according to our graphics. And the foul called on Burke, his second. Andre Hollins ties the game at 37. He has 10 points. Remember, he's coming off that career-high 25-point performance, 5 threes in their upset victory over Northwestern, which may have kept the Wildcats out of the NCAA tournament.
I think it probably did. Northwestern's going to have to get a lot of help.
Hardaway. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. On a nice backdoor cut and the foul.
Oh, that's just beautiful team basketball. Excellent set. They spread Minnesota out defensively, get it into the high post. That's a really tough pass for Tim Hardaway Jr. to catch. Watch that. That thing's kind of low. He has to go down there and get it, catch it, puts his shoulder to the rim. Excellent delivery.
He adds a free throw. 40-37. Tim Hardaway Jr. with 16 points. Hardaway Jr. had 2 points at the break, folks, and now he has 16. Inside the lob, Austin Hollins can't hold on. Here come the Wolverines. Up by 3, Burke, the kick, Douglas downtown. Vogrich knocks it out of bounds and will head the other way. 11:35 to play in the second half. Michigan with a 40-37 lead over Minnesota. Back to Indy right after this. Our next game has the potential to be a good one. And you're right, Smotrich called for the foul. He picks up his 3rd. 4th team foul. Now Hardaway Jr. has been wonderful here in the second half. Smotrich, the Larry Bird pivot. Hardaway Jr. kept it alive, and an offensive foul on Smotrich. That's his 4th. He may have to sit.
Yeah, Smotrich just got frustrated on the initial offering. He took himself too far underneath the basket. Then he just drops the shoulder. Will come the other way. 2 fouls in as many possessions for Smotrich will earn him a seat on the pine. Well, it's not pine, it's kind of cushy over there.
That's right, it's a nice seat. John Beilein giving Ed Hightower an earful. 40-37. Minnesota 13 of 33 from the field, 39%. They're 4 of 14 from the 3-point line. Dre Hollins. And a turnover. 12 turnovers for the Gophers. That zone giving them all sorts of problems. Trey Burke inside, draws a foul. Trey Burke with a great first half, 13 points. Tim Hardaway Jr. with 14 in the second half.
Only 2, as you mentioned, Gus, in the first 20 minutes, but he got it going early here in the second. Excellent job of setting his man up. Rodney Williams looked like he was going to go into the lane. Dive cut, Smotrich found him, and his father, Tim Hardaway Sr., very proud of the second half performance in particular of his son.
Timmy, one of the great guards in the history of the NBA. When they come out with the 100 greatest players, his name should be on the list. His jersey hangs from the rafters. In Miami, home to the big 3 now, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and a guy named LeBron. Second free throw, no good for Burke.
Tim Sr., a tremendous college player in his own right at UTEP during the day.
The Texas 2-step, remember that? For all you kids out there, Tim Hardaway Sr. was the first man to come up with the crossover dribble. And Eliason from Rodney Williams makes it a 40-39 game.
I just really like what Eliason does when he sets the screen, he doesn't just stop. He rolls to the rim and makes his defender make a choice. Do I stay with the ball handler or come with me? And when they haven't come with him, he's made them deliver.
Under 10 to go. 40-39. These two teams met on New Year's Day in Ann Arbor. Michigan winning it 61-56. Burke at 27. Now Novak got his man in the air. Loose ball out of bounds. And the Wolverines will get it again. Some miscommunication with Coleman and Austin Hollins.
Good job of communication last time down the floor. Watch Eliason come up right here. He's going to set the screen. He's going to roll right to the rim. And Michigan doesn't respond accordingly. Morgan stayed too long and too strong on the hedge, and Eliason made him pay. Good delivery up top from Rodney Williams.
Stu Douglas back in. They lob it inside. Hardaway. Good pass by Burke, but Hardaway couldn't get it to fall. Andre Hollins, a flip. 12 points.
Gus, I don't think he picked the rim up until the very last moment. Looked like he was trying to pass and then went right into the shooting motion.
Minnesota reclaiming the lead. Novak struggling tonight. Morgan on the baseline. Eliason keeping his hands up. Got a piece and a foul. Andre Hollins.
Watch right here. It looks like he's looking to pass to Hollins in the corner. Then he just picks up the rim right at the last minute. Very difficult shot by Andre Hollins in the open floor.
Andre Hollins averaged 24 a game as Morgan comes up a little short on the free throw. Hollins 24 a game in his senior season. And Morgan gets a second. Game tied at 41. 6 points for Morgan on Eliason as he picked up his third.
And Gus, take a look down here in the corner. Tim Hardaway Jr. really laboring a little bit. Looked like he might have gotten a Charlie horse. He struggled running down the floor in transition.
Let's see if Minnesota picks up on it and goes at him. Minnesota much more successful against this zone with Eliason on the floor. In the corner, Hollins, pure. Austin Hollins has hit some big shots this evening. 11 points, and his teammates are looking for him. That's going to make John Beilein think about it. 8:10 to play, second half. 44-41, Minnesota. Gophers looking the best we've seen all year. Hollins to the bucket, left hand, young fella, putting it down. 14 points for this freshman. And Minnesota goes up by 3, 46-43. Hardaway Jr. Now he can let the 3 go, and does. That's a brick. Dre Hollins with the rebound.
Not a good shot. You didn't force Minnesota to exert any energy defensively. You can get that shot anytime.
What a win this would be for Tubby Smith. 100 at the U. They've battled adversity all year. Started 12-1. Backside, Austin Hollins. Now he shows it. Goes to the hole. Hangs in the air. And an offensive foul. Ed Hightower right on the baseline. But Andre Hollins
turning the corner, getting to the rim, completion. Minnesota up 3.
Excited about this one right now in Minneapolis. But the question is, can the Gophers hold on?
That's a good question, Gus. They've had some tough losses this year. A double overtime loss to Illinois, a close loss to these same Michigan Wolverines, and a loss by 4 to Iowa. And then the one that really hurts, they had Michigan State, the conference's top seed, on the ropes in Minneapolis, let them off the hook, and the Spartans came back to win by 5.
Jordan Morgan blocked by Eliason and claimed. Bill Russell style. Here comes Dre with numbers. Rocky Williams. Wow! 14 for Williams. And the Gophers go up 54-45. What a fast break. Led by Eliason. Burke the other way. Hanging and hitting. He's got 21. 54-47. What a game being played in the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis. Trey Holland has been a magnificent orchestrator. And Williams may have been hit in the face with an elbow by Douglas. Boy, has it come for this kid. He's showing all the talent that Tubby expected in the Big Ten as a freshman, and he turns it over just like that. How about that?
Burke, really active hands, forced Hollins into the corner, then didn't give up on the play. When you force somebody down there, you really have a second and a third defender in the end line and the sideline. But that's one of the rare mistakes Hollins has made tonight. Now watch where Burke forces him. He's forcing Hollins toward the corner. He kills his dribble right there. That allows Burke to swoop in there. Excellent use of the hands, getting down, digging it out. Here at the point guard position, Dave Sobolewski for the Northwestern Wildcats. The beat goes on.
Keith Appling at Michigan State. 54-47. Trey Burke and the Wolverines have to figure something out. Novak's got to hit his shot and does. Zach Novak's first basket of the game. That's the Minnesota lead to 4. Can the Gophers make good decisions down the stretch? Hollins posting now. And comes up short. Stu Douglas the other way. Pulls up. And Julian Welch with the rebound.
Now, if you're Minnesota now, Gus, you want to run your stuff. Yep. They want to get a good set here because a couple of quick shots have allowed Michigan to climb back into this, but the Gophers sitting on a 4-point lead under 3 minutes in Indy.
You don't just see a field.
3 rebounds, and more importantly, especially if Michigan stays in this zone, Austin Hollins was 3 of 4 from behind the arc.
Sends Tim Hardaway Jr. to the free throw line, where he's 5 for 5 tonight. One and one. And it rims out. Eliason with the rebound. Can Minnesota play keep away for 2 minutes, up by 4. Michigan gets out of the zone, man-to-man now. Here's Welch. He can get shaky with the rock. Coleman as well. He's turned it over 3 times. Rodney Williams, 10 to shoot. Bounce pass, Coleman. 7 to shoot. Coleman inside, reverse layup goes down. What a play by Joe Coleman. Minnesota by 6. Burke, step back 3. Rebounded Morgan. Baseline Novak. 56-53.
Boy, 2 big triples here in the last 4 minutes of clock time by the senior Zach Novak when Michigan needed it the most.
Hollins. Under a minute to play. Welch. Douglas in his hip pocket. And a foul. No, call a timeout is Tubby. Tubby calling the timeout with 52.8.
Much needed lift. As a result, he's our Motel 6 man of the game.
Welch to Trey Hollins. He'll circle. 10 to shoot. Up by 3. Hollins struggling with it. Calls timeout with 6 seconds to go.
Well, Douglas did a really good job of moving his feet, keeping Hollins in front of him. A little bit of contact there. The official doesn't bite on it. Andre Hollins goes to the deck, calls timeout. Now, if you're Michigan, the absolute last thing you want to do, if you're the Wolverines now, is give a foul, because Minnesota is taking the ball out on the sideline with only 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. You don't want to bail them out with a needless foul.
Don't forget, BTN's coverage of the Big Ten men's basketball tournament continues next in what should be a good one, folks. Robbie Hummel and the Boilers take on Jared Sullinger and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Tip-off about 25 minutes after the conclusion of this game, all presented by the Principal Financial. As we take a look at the game reset, each team with the timeout left.
In the foul situation, Minnesota already has put Michigan in the bonus, so Michigan can't give a foul and expect Minnesota not to get into the bonus situation.
Trey Hollins bounce pass Elias and off the back rim. Rebounded by Novak. 56-53. Here come the Wolverines. Down by a triple. Burke crosses over. Almost lost it. Novak for the tie. Rebounded by Morgan out of bounds. With 21.1 to go. And Michigan will get it back. John Beilein has a timeout left. What do you do here, Sean? Do you go for a three, or do you try to get a two?
I tell you what, right now, if I'm Michigan and I get a quick hitter, I'm going to take that, make it a one-point game, and then you see who Minnesota has out there on the floor. You have some guys. This is a team in Minnesota, Gus, that does not have some of the best foul shooters in the league. You have guys, particularly if Eliason is out there, you have to believe they're going to send him to the far end of the floor. But if Eliason's out there at 39% and he has to serve as an outlet, you give that foul. 21 seconds to go if you're Michigan. Take the quit hitter and extend this thing.
.1 remaining. The refs want to see the whole possession. They're looking at the shot clock. Ed Hightower, Terry Oglesby, Ray Perrone. Veteran official Ed Hightower. Inside, Douglas kicks it out. And good!
Boy, they ran the wheel route twice. They ran Douglas off it. He followed on the heels of Hardaway. Minnesota kind of fell asleep, and Smotrich threw three.
He ties it at 56, 7 to go. Trey Hollins, a freshman, to the bucket, blocked by Burke. With 0.2 of a second remaining.
I think what they're going to get over here and huddle with is that Smotrich came up off the block, had it in his hands, but he's falling out of bounds. And if you remember, Gus, a rule change a few years ago was you cannot call timeout unless you've clearly established possession in bounds.
Wow. What a finish here, folks. 2:10 on the clock. Game tied at 56. Smotrich with a wide open three. We told you about John. Watch Rodney Williams cut into the basket for a lob as John Beilein calls his final timeout. Michigan out of timeouts. Minnesota with. Here's Hollins. The lob inside. Williams up. And we're heading to overtime. And John Beilein will take it. Rodney Williams, they went for him. And he was off the mark just by a hair.
We talked about it, the fact that 1.1 is plenty of time to catch, turn. He probably had even a little bit more time than he thought. Watch here. He doesn't get a full extension, kind of flips it up. And as a result, Michigan and Minnesota will play an extra 5 here in Indianapolis.
In Indy.
Minnesota, Gus, we talked about some of their close losses. The first loss was at Illinois in overtime. They then came back and returned the favor, beating Illinois in overtime, and then lost another one to the Badgers, 68-61 in extra session.
Michigan holds on to start the game. Burke. Smotrich with the big three to tie it. Hardaway. And the rebound, Dre Hollins. What a night for Dre Hollins. 14 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Rodney Williams, Dre Hollins, Joe Coleman, Julian Welch, Eliason on the floor for the Gophers. Welch. Coleman with 8 to shoot. Backs it up. Guarded by Hardaway. Kicks it out. Dre Hollins.
Just poor execution. Very stagnant offensively by Minnesota.
Baseline Douglas, reverse layup, no. Loose ball, Smotrich gets it. Baseline, Hardaway. The kick, Douglas. And hits. Stu Douglas, his first basket of the game. It's a three. And Michigan goes up 59-56. Rodney Williams to the basket. And he's fouled.
Nice hustle play. Allows Douglas. Watch Smotrich get down on the deck and dig it out. Burke. Extra pass by Hardaway, kicking it out. That allows Douglas to get his feet set, rotate it, and drain it.
Stu Douglas, local kid from Carmel, Indiana. Now Smotrich has picked up his 5th foul and will have to sit. But the three-point shot in regulation bringing the Wolverines back.
It's a big part of what Michigan does all year, Gus. The Wolverines, 8 made threes per game, second in the conference in that category. And the seniors, Douglas and Novak, delivered, but none were larger for Michigan than the triple by Evan Smotrich as the clock was winding down to send this game into overtime.
Smotrich with the big-time three to keep his team alive. What a great out-of-bounds play by John Beilein. Now Rodney Williams at the free throw line. He's 2 of 3. 14 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Tubby Smith going after win number 100 at Minnesota. Second free throw really short, but Rodney Williams chases down his own rebound. And is fouled. Stu Douglas picks up the foul, his second. Rodney Williams shooting 1 and 1.
And if you're Michigan, Gus, you have to put a body on a yellow jersey. You have to play the percentages. Williams just barely over 50% from the line on the year.
And he missed it again. 2-point game, 59-57. Burke keeps his dribble alive.
Nice help by Elias.
Coleman doing a nice job closing on Novak. Now Burke wants to run the pick and roll with Morgan. Lets it fly. Pure. Lamborghini. 62-57. Michigan. Largest lead of the game now for the Wolverines. And Trey Burke disruptive on the other end as the Gophers turn it over.
Now, if you're Minnesota, you have to extend the defense, and that's exactly what they're going to do. What Burke did, Gus, is he got his hand in the vision of Andre Hollins, and it goes off. He lost sight of the ball in flight. Great job by Burke of also coming with that inside hand.
And Timeout called by Michigan. Overtime here in Indy, 62-57 Wolverines.
Love it. Michigan right now down the stretch on a 17-3 run over Minnesota.
Burke. He kept it in his hands. Baseline. Eliason, nice job cutting him off. Eliason has a great mind for this game. Burke knocked away by Eliason. 6 to shoot. Douglas pulls up and gets the roll. 5 points for Douglas. Michigan goes up 64-57. Trey Hollins to Rodney Williams. He'll take a 3 and bury it.
Wow, that's a tough shot by Rodney Williams, Gus, because Minnesota never reversed the basketball. It was exclusively on the left side of the floor. It looked like it was going to really lead to a desperation situation. They never were able to swing the ball and get to the right side, but Rodney Williams, not necessarily his forte, but the junior delivers.
So Burke at the line.
Trey Burke at the line, shooting.
Ironically, he's 1 for 4 from the free throw line, shooting 1 and 1. He must be exhausted. And he gets the front end. He has 25.
We talked about at the top of the show, Gus, his career high of 27 came against Minnesota earlier this year.
Second free throw goes down for Burke. 6-point lead, 2-possession game. Wolverines. Hollins. He'll take a 3 and pure. Cuts it to 3 with 1:37 to go. 17 points for the freshman Trey Hollins. 66-63. 63, folks. In overtime, 1:37 to go. Trey Hollins answering for his Gophers.
Welch is able to get behind just enough of a rub screen by Williams on the ball reversal, kind of the misdirection play. Welch finding Andre Hollins, and he continues his fantastic play here in the Big Ten tournament.
His game was a 3-point game at halftime. Minnesota up 23-20. 66-63. Morgan guarded by Coleman. Coleman,
I tell you what,
may not be a bad foul.
that's not a bad foul. That's exactly the point I was going to make. You know, you've got Morgan out there at a 50% shooter on the year, and you gave the foul early enough in the shot clock. It was just barely under 25. Tonight, 2 of 5, 40%.
Eliason to check back in. Morgan's usually much better on his second free throw. And he gets it. 67-63. Hollins has been dynamite.
Good job by Burke. He hopped that passing angle. They wanted to run the same misdirection to Hollins, but Burke took it away.
Hollins turning, kicking. Welch hit 2 already. That one off the side of the backboard. Hollins with the rebound, and he's fouled. And he'll go to the line. A 92% free throw shooter in conference play. Shooting 1 and 1. He's 3 for 3 at the stripe tonight.
Good hustle by Hollins, and he turns the corner. A little bit of contact there, and just the play of this young man has been fantastic. And he's unflappable. His demeanor has not changed all night.
Gets it first. This game was tied at 56 at the end of regulation. Dre Hollins to cut it to 2. And does. So much discipline for this kid. As Vogrich checks in, Morgan heads to the bench.
I like my barbecue, Gus. I might have to get the edge to the dry rub from Memphis the way this kid's playing.
No doubt about it. Minnesota has to be smart on defense and not foul. Plenty of time. Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr. are their main men.
You notice, smart play by Michigan. They got Jordan Morgan out of there to take away the option of Minnesota to give the foul.
10 to shoot. Burke crossover dribble to the bucket, left hand, and it goes down. 69 to 65. Burke with the career high. 28. Hollins the other way, and he's fouled again. Folks, if these two kids can stay in school, we're going to have some fun in the Big Ten watching them play for a long time.
They cleared out that whole side of the floor for Burke. He started to go to his strong hand, came back dribbling with a purpose to the left in the completion.
Hollins makes it first. So now what do you do if you're Minnesota? Shot clock turned off if Hollins makes his free throw.
I'd go for the steal, continue to extend this ball game. Because if they get down in the open floor, you have nothing to lose to attempt going for the steal.
They got fouled.
They got to give it up now.
They finally do. And Burke will go to the line. And this time Burke will shoot 2.
Burke's 74% on the year, but he struggled a little bit from the line tonight.
3 of 6. 28 points, a career high. Only a freshman, folks. Trey Burke. Just the 6th Wolverine to be named Big Ten Freshman of the Year. He gets the first. Gary Grant in 85. Chris Webber in 92. Mo Taylor in 95. Lavelle Blanchard in 2000. And Daniel Horton in 03. As a substitution game takes place, Vogrich out. Morgan back in. One more free throw for Burke. 29 points. Looking for number 30 right here. And he gets it. 71-67. Welch with 19 seconds to go. To Armelin for 3. Loose ball. Hardaway with the rebound, and that may do it. Michigan with 12.4 remaining. May be able to ice it at the free throw line right now. Wow, John Beilein. And who will ever forget that inbounds call to get Smotrich open for the tying 3.
They ran that high stagger, 2 wheel routes, first by Hardaway, then by Douglas. Really cleared everyone out. The defense had to go with him. Douglas caught it in underneath, then the misdirection and the kick out to Smotrich.
And then on defense, Trey Burke blocking Dre Hollins' shot. Second free throw, good. 12.4 to go. Classic game in Big Ten tournament play. Hollins with 10 seconds. Takes a 3. Almost banked it in. Rodney Williams with the rebound and dunk. 73-69. Douglas. And the Gophers will let the clock sound. Michigan comes back. John Beilein dodges a bullet. The Wolverines 73. The Gophers 69. Michigan advances. Tonight's Quicken Loans amazing performance has to go to the Lamborghini. Trey Burke, what a performance. Career high, 30 points.
You mentioned it, Gus. In addition to that stellar offensive outing for the freshman on the defensive end, you mentioned the block shot he had. Let's not forget the contest he had that led to another turnover when Andre Hollins lost sight of the ball. Complete game for the freshman Trey Burke.
All right, let's join Lisa.
Had to make a big three.
Coach, describe what kind of fight this was for you tonight.
I mean, from the very beginning, I knew we were in for a battle. You could just tell, even though they played the night before, after a week off, it may be better. You know, we find our teams after a day off, they're a little sluggish, let alone a week off. And we came out sluggish. Give Minnesota credit. They had great legs. They're quick as can be. They put us on our heels and almost took the game.
Your freshman Trey Burke played every single second of this one and produced a career high. What does he continue to show you?
It's incredible moxie that he has. You know, I got to look it up in the dictionary. Everybody uses it, but it's got to be a really smart player who never folds under pressure, just does his best. Foul shooting, the whole deal. He gives us a great package.
You are 3-0 now in overtime games. What allows this team to close a game out? You guys seem cool and confident this whole time through when it really was a struggle.
Well, I think it starts with our two seniors. Our two seniors buy into defense. They guard every time. A lot of times you get into overtime, you might not guard as well. But then you get Trey Burke's got the ball in his hands, made some great decisions.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Whoa, Dave, you got a breath left after watching that one?
You want to see it?
That was really something. In overtime, in a thriller, welcome in Dave Revson, Gary Williams, Jim Jackson, and the man of the night, Trey Burke, the Big Ten co-freshman of the year. I don't know what's more impressive, Trey, 30 points or 45 minutes. Are you tired?
Definitely tired, but the win was the most impressive thing for me. We stuck it out, man. We were down, you know, the last 5-6 minutes, and we came together as a team and stuck it out.
Down the stretch of the game, you had to make plays for your team. It's important as a young player, too, to understand the game and situation. It seems like you were there. You were in the moment. Talk a little bit about late game situations and your thought process.
Coach just told me to make plays. You know, we seen in the first half that they were, you know, struggling with the pick and roll action, and you know, he put the ball in my hands and he trusted me the last 5-6 minutes to make plays for this team and hit the open players.
Trey, there's a lot of young kids watching tonight, including my grandkids. How did you get so good with your left hand?
Just working, just hours of hard work with it. You know, growing up, I knew that was a weakness of mine. And, you know, it still kind of is a weakness. And, you know, just staying in the gym and working on it day after day, you know, it'll come around.
What does it say about this team to be able to rally from the deficit you guys had there, down by 9, last 5 minutes, come back and win this?
It just shows how, you know, how strong we are together. You know, the seniors, Zach and Stu, you know, they kept us together in the huddles. You know, we knew it was going to be a long shot to blow them out. We knew it was going to be a hard fight coming into this game. You know, we took it into overtime, and we fought it out on the boards and on the defensive side.
When I look at point guards and young players, I look at making a decision in a critical situation. You knew they were playing you to your strong hand on that pick and roll. Did you set them up to go back to your left hand?
Well, yeah. Coach LaValle Jordan, you know, he was telling me that, you know, they were kind of predictable. I was predictable in the first half, you know, just using the ball screen. You know, he told me to bingo it and, you know, go away from it a couple times. And, you know, the 2 or 3 times that I did do it, it was a wide open lane. And, you know, it just seemed like nobody was under the basket. It was just a layup. So, you know, we did a good job of executing on what the defense gave us.
Trey, on the other end of the court, it looked like they bothered you a little bit with their screen and roll, getting some people open, going to the basket. You guys went zone for a little while, and they didn't have it again when you came back with your man-to-man. I thought guys did a great job in your zone.
We did do a great job. I think we kind of got intimidated with the zone because we knew that they were a good three-point shooting team. And, you know, so we told the Coach Beeline in the huddle that we should go man. But, you know, I think we probably should have stayed zone and slowed them down a little bit. When we went man, you know, they got a couple big shots, and, you know, they took the lead.
Worked out in the end as the Wolverines win it. They are on to the semifinals. Trey, congratulations. It's been fun to watch you all year. Look forward to tomorrow night.
Thank you for having me. Thanks.
That is Trey.